I mean, obviously you're based in London, but you may not have kind of advice on this, but if people are outside of London, or is there a way of making music leadership more kind of, or the potential for it more inclusive, or kind of more networked in some way?
Yeah, I think yes. I think thankfully some of this is happening already. I think
Mm,
the hubs are increasingly talking to each other more, which I
mm,
think makes a huge difference. I think increasingly organizations based in London are aware of how London-centric they are, and so they are increasingly being encouraged to do stuff out
yeah,
of London,
yeah.
which I think makes a huge difference. Um, um, I think yeah. If yeah, transport is a thing that we've talked about before. Like traveling is a thing
Mm.
that needs to be addressed. I think just nationally, the sort of the transport, the networks just need to be a bit more interlinked, just so that it's easy for anybody to get anywhere. But um, yeah, I think organizations everywhere, organizations outside of London talking to each other more, and anything that we can do to encourage that, I think enhances all of them. That collective power, I think, makes a
Mm.
huge difference. And not just hubs talking to each other, hubs talking. We've just talked about Suffolk, but the hub talking to, for example, Britain Peers Arts, and that reciprocity makes a huge difference. And the fact when they're on the same page, because essentially the
Mm.
goals are essentially essentially the same, but when they're talking to each other and they don't have to like replicate exactly the same thing, that makes everything.
Yes. So come together, sort of network together.
It
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
happening. I mean, as I said, we've talked about Suffolk, so I happen to know some of the organisations in Suffolk
Yeah.
fit
And you've been
well.
in Suffolk quite a bit, haven't
And
you?
I've been in
With Britain
Suffolk
Peers
quite a
as
bit,
well.
so
Yeah.
that is very much sort of happening. But always more is great.
Yeah, yeah, always. So
Yeah.
as we come to the close, maybe, well, actually, we haven't spoken about this exactly, but how does being in that situation, leading a workshop, or that moment where all those kids are there in the performance, that what does that make you feel? What does that do for you? You know, that sense of you're leading them in this journey, all those things you've already talked about, but how does that feel?
I'm also basically, I essentially feel like a proud dad.
Yeah.
Essentially, I spend because it's also this is like an overarching. It's quite funny. This is like the overarching feeling is pride in the people that you have asked to do something have stepped up to the plate and done something. There's a pride in their performance. There's a pride in the pieces that they've made, but also there's a pride you because I won't until the performance. I won't have seen their parents, so you can see you feel that I had my back to them because I was conducting, but you can feel the love that's coming from the audience
Mm,
towards the kids. But also, it's just the very best participatory collaborative performances have been some of the most moving musical experiences of my life. And
mm.
so with it, which is why I talk about the overarching pride, but it's all the emotions of a fabulous composition and fabulous piece can be encompassed in an evening like that, where you have some solos and those are fantastic. Some people are conducting and that is fantastic. And people do some people have copied something that you've clearly done in the
Yeah, yeah,
work.
yeah.
Oh, that's the thing that I'm going to do, and that's fantastic. Or suddenly the singing is twice as loud as it was 2 weeks ago. That's amazing, and all that sort of stuff. So the overarching thing is pride, but the best collaborative workshop performances have all the emotional impact of the very best um, music that I've ever heard and experienced.